gotta get the okay. Hey, can you guys hear me now? Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me now? There we go. All right, here we go. I don't really like the angle of this camera thing right now, but whatever, it works. You guys can see my face. Hey, hey, you guys, so glad for you guys all to show up right now. Okay, we're doing this thing together. You know, ain't no one of us is as strong as all of us. Together, we can move mountains. By ourselves, we kick rocks. We kick rocks by ourselves. Hey, you guys, thank you guys so much for showing up. My name is Danny. I'm an alcoholic and addict. I have a clean recovery, sobriety, abstinent date of January 2nd, 2012. And I'm so glad that everybody showed up right here. Thanks a bunch. Hey, somebody just got 5 years over there. Pauline got 5 years. Yes. Pauline Starr, congrats on the 5 years. 64 days today. Tracy Armstrong, badass. Congratulations. So real quick, you guys, here we go. Welcome to the Sober Spot. My name is Danny Lansdale. I have that date, January 2nd, 2012. I got 14 years into this thing. I was a junkie, fucking smoking this, 10 to 2, and shooting this, drinking, fighting. Done years of my life in prison, almost 15 grand total. I was doing the math the other day. And then I've done 10 treatment centers. Been to 10 treatment centers. Like Woodland was the 10th treatment center that I went to. My video's backwards for some reason. Anyway, I went to 10 treatment centers. I went to a bunch of detoxes. I tried a bunch of times to get clean and sober. I tried. Over and over and over and over again, going to these rehabs, doing this thing, and I'd try to quit. I would swear I was going to quit. I knew I wasn't going to screw around anymore. And you know what would happen? I'd get freaking bored. Bored out of my freaking mind. I couldn't understand. I'd go to some meetings. I'd try this stuff. But I never really worked a program. I worked my program, but I didn't work anyone else's program. I didn't work nothing. And it was really weird, and I didn't understand. I just couldn't see what the big deal is. So today, who am I today? Today I'm a counselor, an interventionist. I'm a yoga instructor. Yoga. I love yoga so much. I'm a son. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a sponsor. I'm a hiker. I do all kinds of stuff today that I didn't do before. But you know what the main thing is? I'm going to tell you what the main thing is. The main thing is this. I'm happy. I'm freaking happy with who I am and the life that I have today. I didn't know that I could feel this way stone cold sober, because I never felt this way stone cold sober. Never. I'd get 30 days, I'd get 60 days, I'd get a couple weeks, I'd get a year, I'd get all this freaking time sober, but I was never freaking happy. I was just, life was okay, life was all right, and the big confusing thing was this. You know what the big confusing thing was? All this shit's out of my system. I'm stone cold sober. Why am I not happy? What is wrong with me? And then I'd have to go to all the doctors and get on the freaking 50 different freaking medications, Wellbutrin, Zoloft, Xanax, Adderall. I'd get diagnosed with ADHD, manic depressive, bipolar depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, and I'd have to take some pill for each one of those freaking things. Schizoaffective, and I'd have to, I'm not saying medication's bad. I'm not, please don't freaking go to see your doctor, whatever. But they would put me on all the lithium. They would put me on all these medications whenever I was sober because something was still wrong with me and I could feel it inside. I didn't know that it was just some energies inside of me that were really fucking up my brain, screwing up my heart, and making me freaking bored and irritated and frustrated and just not well. I didn't know there were some spiritual practices that I could do to release that stuff because I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that I could feel this way stone cold freaking sober. I did not believe that. I didn't think it, Look at Randy. Randy Newborn. Bad thing with me is I was happy drinking and using. That's what was confusing. Yeah, hey, you know what? Me too. You ever hear people? I'd never trade my freaking worst day sober for my best day loaded. Well, you know what? I mean, I'm not going to trade no days today for that. But I was happy too. I was very happy. Very happy. But the consequences from that kind of happiness just started ruining everything. And the consequences of being homeless, going to prison, going to jail, going to detox, being strung out. The consequences of losing my family, losing my children, losing my relationships, losing my jobs, and the consequences was just unbearable. So I would try to get sober. And the only happiness that I knew, Randy, the only happiness that I knew was getting loaded. Because that shit made me feel great, made me feel better. But the consequences of that was unbearable. Because truthfully, if you want to get down to root causes, it's this. You're not happy. It's the drugs that's making you happy. So it's not the real you. It's the alcohol that's changing the way you feel. It ain't you changing the way you feel. It's the drugs and alcohol. And that shit is not sustainable. It will never last. You will have to drink more. You will have to use more. You will have to freaking switch it up with other freaking substances. You'll have to smoke some of this and do some of that and do some of this and do some of that. I mean, if there was a pill that I could take every day and I would feel that feeling, if there was a little something I could do every single day and I would feel that feeling, if there was a beer I could drink every single day and I would feel that feeling all day, every day, going to bed, waking up, sunny, refreshed, yeah, I'd still be doing it. But it doesn't work that way because the real you is rotting. The real you is rotting. And this is a progressive thing. The real you is suffering. So you got to keep putting these Band-Aids on it. You got to keep taking this substance. So I'm glad you said that, because here's the deal. If I go like this, I come up to you and you're just having a normal day, and I come up to you and I got some Advil and I got some aspirin, and I'm like, hey, take 4 Advil and take some aspirin. Just at random, right? Just at random. Here's 4 Advil and here's some aspirin. Take it. You'd look at me and you're like, I don't have a headache. Why do I want to take that? I don't have why do you give me some aspirin? I don't have a headache. I don't want to take that. Right? Because it wouldn't make no sense. It's the same thing with drugs and alcohol. Now, when people offer me a beer, offer me anything, offer me a joint, a beer, a little shot, any substance, I look at it and I'm like, I don't want that because I'm not suffering anymore. I don't want that at all because I'm not suffering. I'm not feeling the need to change the way that I feel because I feel better than all that other stuff. On the natch. Since January 2nd, 2012, I've not smoked one of these. I've not drank one of these. I've not eaten some of that. I've not taken any mind-altering substance to change the way I feel. And this is what recovered means. And yes, I know some people say, I never want to be recovered. Because if I'm recovered, then that means I'm done and I don't have any more work to do. Well, guess what? There's work to do to stay recovered. Recovered just means you hand me a beer and I respond with fuck no. You hand me a joint and it's fuck no. No problem. 10 people are doing that. You can put me in a room full of freaking all the old stuff that I used to love. Fuck no. Because I'm not suffering anymore. And yes, I get it. A lot of times that I relapsed, I'm not suffering. I feel great. I feel wonderful. Let's go to the bar. Let's snort some of this. Let's do some of that. I feel great and wonderful. Yeah, I can handle it now. But if I was really happy and I was really solid, I wouldn't want that. So when I relapsed before, I wasn't happy enough. I still had that desire to do this. Okay, a couple disclaimers real quick. One, I'll never tell you that the 12 steps is the only way to recover. If you don't get a sponsor worth the steps, you're going to be doomed forever. I'm never going to say that. there's smart recovery, there's therapy, there's refuge for recovery, there's yoga, there's some people that go to church, there's all different ways, so get the spirit in you, there's all different freaking ways, to be able, but all of those ways require guidance. It requires a mentor, a sponsor, a guide, a Sherpa, a teacher, a minister, a rabbi, a priest, something. It requires some kind of guide that understands what you're suffering from, or even better, that they have suffered and that they found the way out through some kind of practice. So is the 12 steps the best, most awesome freaking way ever created to mankind to be able to incite a spiritual awakening, a psychic change, a paradigm shift of consciousness? I don't know. Is an axe the best way to chop down a freaking tree? Well, maybe a chainsaw is. Maybe a laser beam. Maybe blow it up with some dynamite. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, an axe freaking works. And I'll tell you what, the 12 steps works. It works for people that were suffering, and it's worked for millions of people around the planet. I'll tell you, it's a badass way to handle it, because millions of people handled it. And they don't want to drink, they don't want to use, they don't want to do nothing. They're good with their lives. So I'll never tell you that the 12 steps is the only way. I'm not that ignorant. I'm not. But I will tell you that it's a badass way that has worked for me and millions of people around the planet. I've gone to tons of meetings around the planet. I've been to Thailand and been all around the planet, Mexico and the Caribbean. And I always look up a meeting and I find a meeting. If I can't find one locally, I'll jump on Zoom and I'll jump on a Zoom meeting from Scotland or Ireland or the UK or New Zealand, jump on Zoom meetings and I see freaking happy, grateful freaking people being of service that transformed their lives, going from tweakers, junkies, criminals, convicts, drunks, wasted, losing people into happy, grateful people. And I see it happen all the time. And I get it. If you haven't tried it or haven't done it and you can't even fathom having the thirst be removed from you, then I understand that. Okay, so that's one disclaimer. Another disclaimer is this. I don't know everything. I don't. I only have my own personal experience of what I have experienced in this place called life, and what I have experienced is about this much of the abundance of life. I don't know everything. I'll give an educated guess based upon my experience, and I could be wrong, and okay, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have a more fascinating, better way. I don't know. But all I know is my experience is that I went from a giant freaking loser that was the biggest disappointment in my family's life into somebody that's freaking happy, that doesn't want to drink, doesn't want to use, doesn't want to hurt people, doesn't want to keep my word. You know what I mean? That I could freaking grow and thrive. That's all I know. And what I am expressing is my own knowledge, and it is available. It's available. Somebody taught me, people taught me, I learn all the time. I got a stack of freaking books up here that I gain knowledge from, that I gain wisdom from, and I put it into practice, and I do my best to shed some light, some love, some joy, some hope, some stuff to be able to transform, man. Because what do you want? What do you want? That's a stupid question. I know what you want. You want the same thing everybody else does. You want to be happy. But the problem is you're telling yourself every day you're unhappy. The problem is that people are telling themselves every day they're unhappy. They're unhappy. And they blame the world for the way that they feel. They blame their childhood. They blame their freaking bad behavior. They blame their employers. They blame their bosses. They blame their spouses. They blame not having enough of this and not having enough of that. And they're telling themselves they're unhappy all day. And that is the big giant problem, because it's coming from a brain that and a heart that's broken. So that's why I learned some spiritual practices. Some people taught me, and I continue to learn, and I express that to be able to open your heart. That's what you really want, is to open your heart so that you fucking love the present moment. So here we go, something else here. Okay, I want to talk about this. Fearless 36. It is an experience that I have created that has 6 spiritual practices in each day. 6 spiritual practices. You're gonna do sacrifice something like nicotine, sugar, freaking bread, donuts, late at night eating. You're gonna work on some nutritional stuff. You're gonna recognize. So you're gonna do that, right? And then you're going to practice meditation and mindfulness. You're gonna walk 30 minutes a day. 20 minutes of listening to something positive. I don't care what you listen to, just listen to something positive. Because if you don't listen to something positive in the morning, your brain is going to attack you. And I'm going to give you an example of that. I used to have this brain that when I wake up in the morning, my brain goes, like I wake up in the morning and my brain goes, oh my God, I am so fucking glad you're awake. I have some shit to tell you. Listen to this bullshit. Check this fear out. Hey, aren't we worried about this? Aren't we worried? And I'm like, I'm just trying to get some coffee right now. And my brain's going, no. You need to sit here and listen to me, and we got to freaking figure this problems with these people. They listen to this shit. I'm like, I'm trying to get coffee. And it's like, no, you got to freaking understand and figure everything out right now. And that's the problem. This automatic shit thinking thing that just freaking, so in the morning, we're going to walk for 20 minutes listening to something positive. And then for 10 minutes, you're going to unplug and do a mindfulness walk. You're going to walk, mindfulness. Just observe the birds, the sunrise, just mindfulness, just walk, be mindful of your surroundings. And then we're going to get an affirmation. Like, I'll just give you a little example of what Fearless 36 is. It's 36 days. You're going to practice 6 spiritual practices. And just like this, today is day 4. We're on the second round. Today is day 4. And today is pause and observe. Each day there's a topic. Each day there is a teaching. Each day there is an affirmation. And each day there is a quote from people that have freaking mastered and figured out this place called life. And we will focus on those. We will repeat an affirmation all day. Like today's affirmation is, I slow down and respond with grace. Pause and observe is the topic of the day. I slow down. Don't react. Pause. And be aware of those pauses, because we live such a reactive life. And that's for today. We can't keep reacting to everything. And then we want grace. Grace, man. Dignity. That's for today. And then each night there's going to be a little bit of journaling. And I've included some deep thinking prompts in each night. Like tonight, we are going to talk about, let's just give you an example of like day 11. Willingness is power. Willingness to learn. Willingness is power. If you're unwilling, we sit there and think all day, and that is not healthy. So the quote is, all the strength you need is within you. It is within you. The kingdom of God is within. But we get so freaking brainiac, fucking like just tripping all day. And then the affirmation for day 11, I'm willing to grow, even when it's hard. Because you only really grow when it's hard. You don't grow when you got a bunch of pillows around. If you do what is hard, your life is going to be easy. If you do what is easy, your life is going to be hard. Promise you. Adversity, freaking like, welcome the challenges, like it's important. So that's just a little example. And I got 36 days, and then we meet each week, and then we check in every day. And if you're interested in doing this, we're going to go to www.thesoberspot.com and just put your email in there. We will be launching the 3rd round in March. We're going to be launching the 3rd round, so please sign up with that if you can. Go to thesoberspot.com and then check it out. See if you're interested. And we do this thing together, and it's fucking cool, man. It's an inside job, And we do this stuff together so that we can find a little bit of light in this chaotic, crazy world. We got to find a little bit of light, and we got to be mindful, and then we got to learn to meditate. 10 minutes every day you're going to do a 10-minute meditation. Super. We got to find some peace. Super important. So please look for that. If you're interested, just put your email in there, and then we'll get you squared away, and it's going to be cool. And you'll find out some more information. There's a lot more in there that's just some simple spiritual practices to recognize, because it's all about awareness. To recognize the thing that's in you, the broken heart, the broken mind, and it just doesn't shut the hell up. And then you'll be able to have some awareness to be able to choose not to listen, choose not to feel that freaking screwed up way. It just takes practice. Okay, so we're gonna go into some what I do want to talk about is recovery. What is recovery? What is recovery? Well, we need to, because today's topic is pause and observe. Are we pausing and observing ourselves long enough to recognize when we are sabotaging ourselves? And yeah, and I know that you say, yeah, I see how screwed up my life is. I check myself. I see what I'm doing. I see it. If you could really see the pain and devastation that you are causing yourself and your family and your friends and your life, if you could really observe that, you would never freaking do it. You just wouldn't. If you could really see that next week you're going to freaking smoke some fentanyl and die, you would never do it. If you could see, but we can't see because we're just so reactive, and we're so it's going on this freaking little feeling inside that we want to feel happy, we want to feel different, we want to feel better. And then we wind up living like a freaking animal that it's just all about, like, we're all over the place. We give our word, of course, yeah, I'm going to be there tomorrow, and then we're not there tomorrow. We can't make decisions. We can't make commitments. We have no self-discipline. And we're just all over the freaking place. And it's gnarly. So we need to recover this spiritual joy of dignity, growth, and abundance inside. Because why do we feel this way? Why are we going all these different directions? Why do we keep messing with something that's destroying us? Why do we keep doing that? What is the matter with us? What's the matter with us is that we are suffering. We're suffering. And we keep going after substances, people, places, and things to make us feel better. Because we're suffering. But all the people, places, things, money, situations, circumstance, drugs, alcohol, gambling, all that stuff will never relieve the pain that is inside of you. Outside shit cannot fix inside shit. It makes it feel better for a minute. It makes it feel better for a second. It makes it more entertaining, but it will never fix it, and we will struggle for the rest of our freaking lives trying to freaking patch up this pain, patch up this suffering, patch up this stuff. We will keep suffering, and as long as you're suffering, you're going to keep doing stupid shit to try to alleviate that. You're going to be fighting the whole world. And when you're suffering, guess what? You can't see. All you can see is this feeling inside. And all you do is want some fucking relief from that feeling inside. Boredom. So let's talk about suffering. What is the nature of suffering? Anger. Suffering. Fear. You're suffering. Irritation. You're suffering. Being pissed off. You're suffering. Being bored. You're suffering. Oh, speaking of boredom, you know what the difference between boredom and serenity is? Boredom is where you're sitting around and you're freaking not doing nothing and you can't stand it. Serenity is when you're sitting around not really doing nothing and you fucking love it. It's the same experience, but did two completely different flavors. So suffering. Why are we suffering? What is the problem? What is it? What is it? Why are we making ourselves suffer? Why is it? And then we got to find someone to blame for our suffering. We got to blame our childhood. We got to blame our jobs. We got to blame somebody, right? Somebody's responsible for this suffering. I mean, it's not me. When you understand that you are the cause of your suffering, you're the one perceiving life and choosing to say, that thing is making me suffer. That not having a car is making me suffer. That riding a bicycle is making me suffer. Really? A car has some kind of energy that it transmits into your heart and causes you to suffer? Or is it your belief about that car that you are choosing, actually unconsciously, you're choosing to blame that car, and then you manifest suffering within you? That job is really making you suffering, really? I mean, yeah, there's some hard jobs. There's people out there roofing. There's people out there in farms picking lettuce all freaking day. They got hard jobs, but they're doing it fucking laughing and smiling, and they're fucking doing it. There's all kinds of shitty stuff. And if it's so shitty, change it. Accept it, change it, do something about it. But we blame this world. I mean, watch. Watch what happens when you watch the news and you watch a bunch of sad shit and it makes you freaking angry. Is the news transmitting some energy into your heart and making you suffer? Or is that news reminding you of something and you just don't fucking see it that way, you don't agree with it that way, or people fucking and so now you're choosing to perceive something, and then you are the one giving that thing energy. It's not fucking situations and circumstances that are giving you the energy. Okay, so your bank account freaking is low. Okay, great. What a great opportunity to try to make it freaking happen. What a great opportunity to fucking get the axe to the grindstone and start freaking doing it. Or nose to the grindstone, axe to the grind. I don't know. What a great opportunity to challenge yourself. But we don't look at it that way. We look at things negatively because the pain that has happened inside of us. So what's the solution? Get rid of the pain. How? Well, turns out most people don't know how. Most people don't know how. They just fucking live with the pain and the sorrow and the grief and the despair and the shame and the guilt and the regret and the remorse and the victim mentality, and they just live with it. And they're trying to cope with it the best they can. And they're fighting tooth and claw, scraping, fighting, trying to freaking alleviate it with money, sex, power, drugs, alcohol, whatever. They're trying to freaking stop that pain from being suffering. When the solution is actually be aware of it. Be aware that it is within you. And learn how to release that pain. Learn how to give that thing up. Learn how to let go of it. Because you're the one that's holding on to it. But if you've held on to something for so long, you don't know how to let go of it. So we have a mountain of our past of fucked up experiences, and guess what we have done? I heard this thing the other day, and it's like, you ever go to a restaurant? You ever go to a restaurant and the food is shitty, and it's like made your stomach hurt? And then what we do is do you tell the waiter, hey, let me get a doggy bag so I can take this shit home, so I can put it in my fridge, so I can eat it later? No, you don't do that. You don't take shitty food home and collect shitty food and so that you can save it for later. But that's what we're doing with our past experiences. We're collecting negative, shitty experiences and we're holding them inside of us. And then we call everyone that we know when we have a shitty day, when we have a shitty experience, we just freaking dwell on it, take it home, can't go to sleep because it's sitting right there next to you, it's sitting there in your head, and we're collecting shitty experiences. And then all that does is that blisters up the pain inside of us. The secret is to let that shitty experience go. But nope, we've collected so many of them, we've held on to so many of them, that now everything is shitty. The fridge inside is full of fucking garbage. So of course the world stinks. Of course we're going to get loaded. Of course we need drugs and alcohol. Of course we need a pain reliever. Because we've stored it inside of us. We haven't let it go. You know, you hear this thing, and I'm going to tell you the weird thing about let go. I'll give you my personal experience. I had this one guy, you know, I was early in my recovery. I had like 6 months this time, and I actually got a sponsor. I was actually working the steps, and I was actually doing the prayers and the meditations, and I was doing this stuff, right? So I had a bad experience with this dude. He was talking a bunch of shit to my face, and he was like, "You ain't doing nothing." And anyway, I wound up, you know, because I was at a place where I was gonna get freaking kicked out of if I freaking just beat the bark off of this dude, and I didn't, and I felt like a little bitch afterwards, and I went to my sponsor, and I freaking rode my bicycle over there, because I was on a bicycle for 18 months early in my recovery, and I went and I talked to him, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, you know, so check this out. So now that we're like sober and now that we're like clean, we got to be nice and kind, and we got to accept everything, and people can just talk shit to us and we don't do nothing about it, and we just got to just take it, just have people shit on us and just take it, and that's what we got to do, acceptance." And he goes, "You know, Danny, yeah, acceptance is the answer. But that is not acceptance. That's ego. That's pride. That's defiance. That's anger. That's hate. That ain't acceptance." And then he looks at me and he goes, "You know, what you got to do is let go and let God. You got to let go." And then I looked at him and I go, "Let go and okay. Oh. Just, okay, let go. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let go. Take it. Take it. Take it. I'm letting go." Still want to punch that dude in his mouth. And then he goes, "You know, Danny, how long did it take for you to become an asshole?" 42 years? He goes, "Thank God it's not going to take that long to undo it." You have a mountain of shit inside of you. You've collected a million horrible experiences and packed them into your heart. How do you move a mountain? One scoop at a time. One scoop at a time. Daily prayer meditation. Daily release. Daily awareness when I'm shitty. Whenever I'm shitty, I pause to the best of my ability. And I learned how to release, 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 day after day. But the spiritual practice of letting go, takes practice. So when I first went to that mountain of shit that is inside of me, that is making me get loaded, that is making me freaking become a big giant failure in life, that's making me break my promises, it's making me not keep my word, a mountain of it. In the beginning, I'm so spiritually weak because I'm so full of all this stuff that all I can release is a little, I can release a rock at a time. Because I'm so spiritually weak, I don't know how to release. I'm just practicing. And in the beginning, I'm very weak at practicing this stuff. So I'm still feeling the suffering and the pain. But guess what? As with any practice of like prayer and meditation, with any kind of focused release the anger, release the hate, release the shame, release the fear inside of me. As with any practice, if you work out at the gym, I mean, you're not just gonna, and in the beginning, you can lift 2-pound dumbbells. Oh, I can barely hold them out. But if you practice every day, within a short amount of time, you'll go from 2 pounds to 4 pounds to 8 pounds to 10, 20s, 30s, 35s, 40s. You will get stronger at lifting that weight and releasing it. And that's the same thing with prayer and meditation. That's the same thing with these steps. In the beginning, I was spiritually weak, but over time, I became stronger. So now, when a shitty situation or a shitty feeling or a shitty, moment just invades my life, release. Do a 7-step prayer. How important is it really? Acceptance is the answer. I will not be a victim of this situation. I choose to keep my heart open. How important it really is some dumb shit. And then when I learn to release it. That's why it says, in one of the recovery books, it says that if we fail to perfect and enlarge on our spiritual life, we will not survive the low spots ahead. And so if I told you I'm going to freaking get some big guns, I'm going to get some big arms, and I'm going to, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to the gym on Mondays, and I'm going to clock in at 12 o'clock on Mondays at noon, and I'm going to do 2 reps on Mondays. I'm going to do 2 curls on Mondays. And I'm going to get huge. You'll be like, you're full of shit. You will not get big that way. You will get bigger by doing it all the time. And if you stop doing it, then guess what? You get weak again. That's why I do this spiritual practice stuff every single day, so that I can stay fit. In the beginning, I was doing it every day and I wasn't noticing any difference because I had that mountain of shame and guilt inside of me. It's a practice. Spirituality is a muscle. It's an inside job. So we have to pause and observe and be aware of the insides. Okay, we only got, oh my God, I just don't shut up. Hey, you guys, real quick, thank you for being here. I really mean it. Me by myself alone in the world, trying to figure out my shit alone, I'm worthless. Very worthless. Me not being able to communicate or help people, I'm worthless. I'm nothing, But me with some people that I can help and that I could reach, add value to, hopefully, I could have a little value in this place called life. Because actually there's no other way to become valuable without adding value to people's lives. It's super important. So thank you guys for showing up. And I don't know all of you, obviously, but I do, I used to not care about people. And I know it sounds weird, but I really care about you. And I don't know you, but I don't want you to suffer no more. Because we have so much suffering in the world, and you're a human being, and you deserve to have a beautiful life. So thank you for showing up. So we're going to do a couple shout outs right now. This is a good part, because we only have a few minutes left. Okay, so here we go. Lindsay Hooten. Hello from Amarillo, Texas. 11/21/24. Lindsay, you got on board. You got on board with this thing and you're just like, I'm not freaking doing that stupid shit anymore. I'm changing my life. And you made a decision. 11/21/24. So what is that? That is a year and a half. Wait. 11/21, so we'd be at 11/26, that'd be 2 years. So you got like a year, and you're coming up on a year and a half. And I freaking congratulate you big time. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for posting that up there right now. I love that. Keep on keeping on. Chris Waugh. I'm Chris and I'm an alcoholic. I finally have 1 day sober. You freaking listen, check this out. You are in the beginning. Everyone that's got 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 90 days, they had to have 1 day sober. So today is your sobriety, recovery, clean. Today's the day. Chris, well, I got one thing to say to you. Do not tap out. It is going to be a bitch. It is going to be difficult. Your feelings are going to attack you. Things are going to tell you to tap out. But heroes don't tap out. This is the hero's path. You stay on board this thing, and I promise you your life will change. Look back in your life, and you don't want that shit. So do nothing. It is going to be difficult. It might be a struggle. It might be. It's going to be. But you're stronger than you believe. I promise. Chris, I'm so fucking stoked you got 1 day sober. Thank you for showing up. That fucking 1 day, bro. That's fucking rad. Thank you. Teddy Cross. listening in from London, UK. Teddy, thanks for showing up from London. Hey, look at Teddy right now. Like, you know what? We're all the way, like we're freaking thousands of miles apart. But you know what? Our heart and our minds are here together in this moment. This is a moment that we're sharing. And how rad is that? We're right here together. I don't know what time it is over there, but thank you for chiming in, bro. Thank you, Teddy, very, very much. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. Mike Schuler, 36 days. 36 days. You know, those are actually 3 and 6 and 9. Those are some powerful juju numbers. 3 and 6. 36 days. Do not tap out. You got over a month. You got over a month. A month of not fucking around. Dude, congratulate yourself. Feel it. Be proud of yourself. This is super important. You're changing your life. The life ahead of you, if you do not tap out, and just so you know, tapping out means I smoke one of these, I do a little of this, I take some kind of mind-altering substance to change the way I feel. That is tapping out. You lose your recovery date. If you lose your recovery date, you have tapped out. And we must re-experience the past. And I know you do not want to re-experience the past. So it's going to be difficult. It'll be challenging, but welcome the challenges. Hey, thank you so much, Mike Schuler. Appreciate you. Jessica Taylor, 72 days. Jessica Taylor, 72 days. Jessica, you are on board. You are here. We're right here, right here. Our heart and our heart and our mind are right here. You have 72 days. I congratulate. We all had to start somewhere. And you have over 2 months in. That's a long, for those of you guys that's a long time. I know that people go, oh, I only got 72 days. You got 72 days. 72 days going from 0 to 72 days is humongous. And I know that you might not have all the trust and belief and support of your family maybe, but you know what? That's okay because you're doing this. You believe in yourself. Thank you so much. Cynthia Lay, hello from Reno, Nevada, 2/28/222. Oh, hey, Cynthia, you're going to have 4 years in a minute. 10 days, you're going to have 4 years. And I know we don't get any fronts, but you're about to have 4 years. I wish I could see you right now. I wish I could have seen you then and then see you now. I'm sure that you're completely different than the person that you were. Hey, right on. That is so rad. Hey, thank you, Cynthia. Randy Newburn, 11 months. You're coming up on a year. Hey, Randy, you're coming up on a year. 11 months in. Pause right now and feel it. You are not the man that you used to be. You are not. You're a man that can develop, grow, thrive. When you're starting this journey, you got 11 months in. Do not tap out. Please. Keep on going. Get that year. Get that year. I'm not sure if you go to meetings or anything, but if you can go to a meeting and get a coin for a freaking year, that's just good stuff. Right on. TJ Staffer, 10/6/23. Love your inspiration, Danny. Well, I freaking love what you're doing right now. You've got, what is that? That's a little over 2 freaking years, TJ Staffer. You got over 2 freaking years into this thing, and your life is changing. You are not the man that you used to be. Hell no. I love this. Thank you. Thank you so much for chiming in. Thank you for posting that. Shane Monta. Hi, watching from San Antonio, Texas. Hey, a lot of people have been moving to Texas out there. And I'm super stoked to see you chime in from San Antonio. I don't know what's all out there, but I'm sure I keep hearing that there's a good recovery community and people are changing their lives. And thank you so much, Shane. I appreciate you. Tracy Armstrong, 64 days. 64 days. Here we go. Here we go. Changing our lives. The past is the past, and it keeps wanting to freaking invade our present moment, but we're not going to let it. Tracy, you're not going to let it invade today because today is a brand new day. You're a brand new creation and you got 64 days in. Be stoked on yourself. 64, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. We're treading the freaking happy road to destiny. Super badass. Taylor Badams. The good effect started becoming bad effect at the end. Yeah. It was all fun and games until someone poked an eye out. it was a good effect. I love drinking and all that stuff. It was a great effect, and then it became a bad effect. Bad, horrible, definitely. Thank you, Taylor. Month and a half sober today, and I thank God. Yes, you got a month and a half sober. A month and a half. You put the plug in the jug, you stop screwing around, and now you got a month and a half in. You got 6 weeks into this thing. That is hero shit. And don't ever freaking let anyone freaking minimize your victory of 64 days or a month and a half. Sorry, month and a half sober. Don't ever let anyone minimize your time. No, this is heroic stuff. To change their life and get a month and a half is humongous. So people that I'm sure some family members and some people are like, yeah, we'll see. But you know what? Don't be affected by them, please. Common sense. Hello from Ireland. Common sense from Ireland. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. All right, you guys. I'm sorry that we can't get to everybody. I'm so glad that you guys chimed in. I'm so glad that we're doing this thing together because no one of us is as strong as all of us. And it appears to me that there's a lot of people here that have some light. And thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that with your communities and your families. Thank you so much for making a difference and making a decision to change your life, because you know what? We want to get out of the suffering, and we recognize we have to take responsibility for ourselves and our inner work is that we have to do. We have to take responsibility for that, and we learn to release that. Very important. Oh shoot! Oh my God, we're out of time. Yeah, I gotta get on the road. Hey, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being you and believing in yourself. And those of you that are watching this right now, this is gonna sound weird or whatever, or corny as shit. And those of you guys that are struggling, I believe in you. I believe in you. Even if you don't believe in yourself, because I believe in the power of the human spirit. I believe in the divine. I believe in the ability to change. Though it may be dark, though it may be cold, though it may be lonely right now, I promise you, you keep moving forward. You keep seeking the light. You keep seeking the light. And sometimes when it's darkest, the only thing we can hold on to is maybe a little bit of hope. Millions of people around the planet have transformed their lives from their darkest days. Lots of us have. I've had many dark days. So please don't give up on yourself. Please keep reaching out, keep seeking, keep finding, keep looking. I promise you it's not the end. I believe in you. A lot. I don't want you to suffer. You don't deserve to suffer anymore. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you guys for chiming in. And I'm sorry I couldn't answer a bunch of questions right now, but thanks for showing up. And also, if you're interested in that Fearless 36, go to the www.thesoberspot.com and join me for 36 days. We'll kick this next cohort off on the next month, and we can do this stuff together. And we'll talk to each other. We'll communicate. We'll keep each other accountable, and it's super badass because life alone by yourself fucking sucks. I believe that it's too much for any one person to bear their entire life on their own shoulders. We actually need each other. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, awesome, amazing day. Onward and upward.